Y'all, there's this series called P-Valley, and it's like Beauty in Black, but just focused on the strip club. In a neighborhood that just got hit by a hurricane, a suitcase floats by, and a young woman fishes it out. Inside, she finds some fancy clothes. She looks through a wallet and sees her driver's license with a photo of her and the name Lakeisha Savage. Later, she gives herself a DIY makeover in a bathroom. Hair straightened, different color. The to-be makeover that will probably make her unrecognizable to everyone. Meanwhile, at the Pink, a strip club where dreams go to twerk, it's Saturday night chaos. In the dressing room, one of the dancers, Keyshawn, comes in with a cut on her face and begs for a substitute. The main girl, Mercedes, says she will do it for a cheeseburger. Keyshawn vents to Gidget about how it's her first day back from maternity leave and she already getting beat. Outside, our mysterious woman spots a poster for something called the Booty Battle, so she decides to join even though she ain't got much. Inside, Mercedes is mid-routine when a client decides personal boundaries are optional. She warns him. He doesn't listen. So she grabs a bottle and aggressively recycles. The bouncer Diamond steps in and escorts her handsy out of the building. Outside, Mr. Kicked Out starts mouthing off. Club owner Uncle Clifford calmly threatens to notify his wife. Clifford looking like an upgraded law roach. Sheriff Bailey arrives and pretends to be concerned about alcohol laws. Clifford just hands him a bribe disguised as Raising Cane's, and the mayonnaise man dips. Clifford then rounds up the contestants for the booty battle. They spot the new girl and send her to mate for some floss, $15 for string between her cheeks. Clifford asks her name. She comes up with one, Autumn Night. Later, Mercedes privately hands Clifford a flyer for Mercedes' last dance. She says 25 is stripper retirement age, and it's time to cash in her 401k. She finna be in for a rude awakening, expecting a 401k. The booty battle kicks off. Autumn hits the stage and the crowd starts raining cash. But during her routine, she gets haunted by violent flashbacks. She wins anyway. Mercedes watches, unimpressed. Backstage, Clifford hands Autumn her prize money. She asks what she has to do to get a job. Clifford sighs her and say her budget chest has potential for upgrades if she dances hard enough. They tell her she can start tomorrow. Later in her sad room, Autumn looks at a little girl's picture on her phone. Then she gets up and spills alcohol on it, and it shuts off. She screams. Over at church, Mercedes drops money into the offering plate, as if that wasn't just in her ass crack last night. The men seem to recognize her. Meanwhile, the singer calls Mercedes out for sitting down, so she leaves. Outside the Pink, someone's lurking with a camera. Meanwhile, we unfortunately see Clifford's bum, and he dresses conservatively, then heads to a payday loan shop. Kim Chi says they don't take his checks because it keeps bouncing. Elsewhere, Mercedes is running a dance class for kids. The church singer shows up. It's her mother, Patrice. Mercedes hands her a bag of cash. Patrice says she can't believe she let Mercedes hide booty crack money in the church fund. Mercedes reminds her the money helped the church apply for a loan. At the Pink, Clifford vents to Big L about the financial doom spiral. Big L isn't thrilled and says they won't survive with Mercedes leaving. Clifford goes in to meet the dancers and announces new stripper math. While the girls whine about it, Mercedes gets a text from someone named Sinclair about a dream property. Then she gets up and lifts the mood with her booty, and everyone's laughing. But a baby's cries cut through. Keyshawn arrives, face bruised. Autumn asks if she's okay. Mercedes like, "Bitch, what do you think?" Keyshawn says her baby daddy hit her. Clifford tries to comfort her and opens up about how he used to get beat. That night, Clifford and Big L sell fried chicken on the side to a crew of Mexican men. Clifford wonders when Chucalissa turned into Little Tijuana. Big L flashes a check from Promised Land Equities. Clifford wants to know who the hell that is. Meanwhile, Lil Murda and his gang show up, armed with a duffel bag of cash with brick fillers. They try to get in, but security reminds them they're not Diddy and to get in line. Inside, Clifford multitasks, baby in one arm, boss energy in the other. They tell Mercedes to break Autumn in, teach her how to work the flow. Mercedes and Autumn walk into the club, and a sharp-dressed guy tries hitting on Autumn, but Mercedes shuts it down quick since she sees the tag still on his suit. In the back room, Keyshawn nurses her baby, and Diamond joins her. He notices the bruises and offers to handle it, but she says his body count doesn't need additions. Clifford calls her for her turn. Just as Diamond steps onto the stage, Lil Murda walks into the club. He waves Mercedes over, bragging about a duffel bag stuffed with coochie coupons. She snaps her fingers, clearing out the other girls, then calls him out. She knows about the bricks in that bag. He's impressed. He tries to impress her too and claims he's the hottest rapper in the streets. She works her magic on him, but one of his boys spots Autumn serving up fresh twerks nearby, and suddenly Mercedes might as well be invisible. She offers to go fetch Autumn, but warns they'd better be ready to spend all those coochie coupons. She finds Autumn and passes along the invite. Autumn hesitates because Clifford had said nothing else. Mercedes tells her it's time to take off the training wheels, and who better to learn from than her? They head back to Murda, but one of the dudes gets handsy. Diamond appears out of nowhere and shuts it down. Then Mercedes lures Murda into a private room. He makes her listen to his music, but she says her booty can't bump to it. She roasts his lyrics and wonders why he's rapping in cursive. Offended, he says she can forget about his stacks. Meanwhile, Autumn's still performing, and the same dude keeps trying his luck. She knees him straight into a higher octave, and Diamond once again swoops in. Murda goes after her to apologize, but bumps into Clifford. He tries to explain himself, but the club's louder than a jet engine. Clifford pulls him into a private room, and let's just say, Murda is like Lil Nas X, a homosexual. Outside, Autumn's in a full-blown panic spiral. That Snoop is out there again snapping pics and spots her. He introduces himself as Andre Watkins, says he's in real estate. She introduces herself as Autumn Knight. She flirts, but he declines the invite inside. She tosses him her real name anyway. It's Haley. Back inside, Mercedes preps for her set. Clifford slips DJ Neva Scared a track. It's Lil Murda's music. Mercedes steps out, hears it, and gives the DJ a bombastic side-eye. He gets the message and switches the song. She performs and the crowd makes it rain, but she spots Patrice watching like a missionary at Sodom and Gomorrah. Later outside, Patrice says this won't get Mercedes into heaven. Mercedes quips that hell is lit anyway. Patrice shifts gears, telling Mercedes that with all the money she sees people waste on her, the church should be getting double the tithes and offerings. Then she drops to her knees, literally praying out loud to God to save this hoe.
Save this hoe!
Mercedes hands her another bag of cash and she pipes down real quick. Patrice gets up and walks off, and Mercedes breaks down. Next morning, Autumn hands over the club's cut like a good little capitalist and pieces out. Clifford turns to Mercedes for her tip out, but she says she doesn't have it. Clifford and Big L guess Patrice made her feel guilty again. Clifford sighs, grabs 2 stacks, and hands them to her. The girls leave for the night, and Autumn is left alone. Across the street, Andre is lurking again, taking creep shots of her. At the Pink that night, Corbin Kyle indulges in his favorite fantasy of being dominated by 2 black women while they call him Massa. Later, he thanks Uncle Clifford for the trauma bonding, and Keyshawn shades Corbin for being so light-skinned he ain't even passed for black, like he run out of black ink. Clifford corners Autumn, reminding her he needs her ID or no twerking for her. Elsewhere, Big L confronts Clifford about a notice of default he found while snooping. Clifford tells him to mind his own mailbox, but Big L is panicking. He begs Clifford to fix it. Clifford heads out for a stress smoke and gets ambushed by Lil Murda. Murda says he dropped a fat stack for club play and feels robbed. But it wasn't exactly twerk fuel. For some reason, Murda goes on to remind Clifford his eggplant is big. Next day, Mercedes chats with her friend Mayne, who says he'll catch her last dance. Mercedes side-eyes the ankle monitor and walks away showing all her assets. Back home, she declines a call from Patrice, who's probably calling about tithe like she's a collection agent for Jesus. At the church, Pastor Gilfield insists Patrice bring in her daughter's contribution already. Then he switches gears, suggesting Patrice ditch the choir and try the pulpit. He compliments her voice and brushes her lashes, and she laps it all up because we know Patrice want to do the nasty with that pastor. Autumn's phone is still chilling in a bag of rice, waiting to be fixed by Asians. So she goes over to a payphone and calls about Lakeisha Savage. No new info and still missing. Meanwhile, Andre is making corporate PowerPoints look like mood boards. As he scrolls through photos for Promised Land Casino and Resort, he pauses way too long on one of Autumn, then slides it into a folder called The Gallery. I just know he finna fap with that later. He goes to a property and meets Wayne and Wyatt Kyle. He gets their signatures, but their brother from another mother, Corbin, yes, the one who indulges in slavery fantasy, isn't there to sign. Andre offers to chat with Corbin, and the boys nod towards the pink billboard. Elsewhere, Mercedes gathers her girls. They whine about the heat, but Mercedes announces next week they'll be practicing indoors. That building will be the new home of the Chucalissa Challengers. Back at the Pink, it's time for the annual soap down. Mayor Tidal Ruffin rolls up. Clifford goes over to him, and they squabble over whether the club is following the law. Clifford offers a peace treaty. The mayor's Escalade gets a detail job. Mercedes and Autumn get drafted to clean it until it shines like glistening D. Inside the car, Autumn is wiping things down. Someone starts washing the Escalade from the outside, and the windows block up with suds. Suddenly, Autumn's in full-blown panic mode. The doors are locked. She claws her way out the sunroof. She screams and accuses Mercedes of locking her in. Someone mentions it was just child-locked. Clifford sends Mercedes to chauffeur Miss Drama Queen home. Mercedes actually seems concerned, but Autumn just slams the door in her face. That night, Autumn's phone resurrects itself. She scrolls through old photos of her daughter and possibly her baby daddy. Then she gets the urge to make a mysterious money transfer at an internet cafe. Back at the club, Mercedes arrives with 2 of the girls, and Clifford's in a shouting match with the cook, who's walking out mid-shift. Clifford claps back that the chicken wings gave everyone gas anyway. The girls volunteer to help out in the kitchen tonight, but Clifford's not just worried about tonight, he's worried about every night after. In the kitchen, he critiques Big L's whiskey-soaked chicken. Big L says it's his grandma's recipe. Clifford asks if that's why she's dead. Big L doesn't miss a beat. If they just paid the damn cook, nobody would be eating bootleg poultry right now. Lil Murda enters and makes Clifford listen to his new track. But Clifford says Murda's D is better than his rapping. Murda snaps back with his own criticisms about the pink. Clifford challenges him. Murda says the wings need to be pan-seared, then baked in cannabis butter. That's how you get folks lit and generous. Clifford makes him put his money where his mouth is. So the rapper wannabe whips up a batch, and Clifford is ready to sign him up as executive chef. In the club, Andre and Corbin are neck-deep in negotiations while Autumn entertains. Corbin's not budging. He wants a lease, not a sale. Corbin leaves some bills for Autumn and suggests she take good care of his boy in the champagne room. Elsewhere, Mercedes levels with Clifford. When are they going to tell the other girls the pink is having trouble staying afloat? They in 55 stacks in debt. Mercedes nearly chokes, even though she got no gag reflex. In the champagne room, Andre isn't interested in contact. He asks Autumn to keep a little distance. She teases him, something about being too good for lap dances. He asks how she's been and calls her by her real name. She says she regrets ever telling him, so Andre says they can act like they've never met. He notices the cesarean scar on her lower belly. He unbuttons his shirt, revealing a scar of his own. He was born with his heart outside his chest. She asks what that felt like, and the idiot says maybe it's not so different from having a child. Way to kill the mood. Autumn gives him solid advice about his business. He thanks her and gives her his card in a stack. Later, Clifford makes their rounds for house cuts. Mercedes raises an eyebrow at the money Autumn's holding. She calls her out for getting too close to clients. Autumn fires back. Clifford shuts it down before it escalates. Once things cool off, Clifford pulls Autumn aside and she hands over her ID, but Clifford clocks her ass, saying that ain't her. Autumn tells Clifford about the casino coming to town due to Andre. Autumn suggests they ask Andre for more details and hands Andre's card. That night, Mercedes returns home to find Patrice waiting. But instead of giving her more tithe, Mercedes tells her she wants the 20 grand she loaned the church back by the end of the week. That really has Patrice stressing. Across town, Andre is on a call with his girl, but apparently Loyalty has flexible hours because he hangs up on his girl as soon as Autumn calls him. Autumn randomly starts moaning. Andre asks to FaceTime, but she shuts that down quick and tells him to use his imagination. And judging by how fast he drops his pants, he's got plenty of it. When releases his mayonnaise, she hangs up without a word. Next morning, Clifford climbs into the car, flips the sun visor, and a CD drops into their lap. Another mixtape from Lil Murda. But the beat's not the only thing dropping in P-Valley. These were just the first 2 episodes of P-Valley, should we cover more of this series.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.